once again, you are back tuned into the underground. My name is Mbaya and I go by the doctor. A special request which is long overdue. What I have for you today is how to do a star design, and it's literally 5 simple steps. I did do a simple star design which consisted of 3 stars. That was one of my videos that mainly helped me kind of gain some traction and people noticing me on social media, but that's a story for another day. And I'm going to show you how it is that I got this look right here to right here. So I'm going to show you the simple steps on how to do that, and moving forward, trust me, you're going to be doing flawless stars, no problem. If you know this trick. If you don't, check me out. So anyway, I'm gonna put these up. I'm not gonna need these. I'm gonna put those up, but I'm going to use my Gamma Plus hitter, and this is just going to be for details. I'll also be using my Gamma Plus boosted clipper as well as the boosted trimmer, and for specific details, my CYBORG trimmer as well as the clipper, and if necessary I'll be using the Gamma Plus skin. This is a slept-on clipper. If you don't have this in your rotation, trust me, this will save your trimmers a lot, because one thing a lot of people don't do is have a skin balding tool in their collection, which saves your trimmers a lot, because let's face it, you should not be really using your trimmers to debulk or remove hair. So, and a lot of people always ask me, recommend me a trimmer that can remove bulk easy, this and that. Sure, you have them available, you can do that debulking thing with trimmers, which I don't recommend. We all do it. I'm victim of it, or I'm guilty of doing it rather, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, but anyway, that's what I'm going to be using to execute these stars. And I'm not necessarily going to show you the fade, because the fade is a whole different story, and I'm just going to kind of blend them into a like medium fade, which is going to preserve some hair, make sure that there's enough hair for me to work with that will make it make sense for me to execute the stars the way that I'm about to do it. There's no color that I'm going to use, no enhancement. So for those of you who have seen me do designs or lineups whatsoever, you name it, right, I'm blamed, or people assume that I use enhancements, but I don't. Everything's natural for the most part. All I use is water, a little bit of holding spray when necessary. If I have to, some kind of aftershave or alcohol rather. And if that doesn't do the trick, look, use whatever you can with your skill to help that texture, whatever you're working with, look enhanced. And that's what I do. So watch this video through, let me know what you think about what I'm doing. And as far as me breaking down the stars, if you have questions, ask. I'm going to try to over communicate what you need to do in order to make this happen. And if you're all interested in seeing me manipulate the hair with the fade, making sure that you see each step on how it is that I did the haircut to prep it for the stars, please leave a comment, let me know. I will be glad to put out content soon. And I know some of you have been wondering where I've been. It's been a lot going on lately, and there's a lot of things that I need to go back to, focusing up on with the content, and not forgetting about you all that need my assistance or help with whatever tools, hair cutting techniques whatsoever, you name it, right? I got y'all, but I've been needing a second, y'all. It's been really busy. There's a lot of transitions that I have going on. Story for another day. But stay tuned, y'all, and enjoy this video. Just for some context, on the left side of the fade, I'm going to leave more hair versus the right side. I'm going to blend it completely how it needs to be, but I'm going to leave a little bit of weight on the left side just so I can have enough to manipulate for the design. And as you can see, I'm using the Gamma Plus boosted trimmer that has the gold lid on it. That's all stock, and of course I executed that to do the base of the lineup. And then just for the details that are final, just to finish it off and make sure it's all clean, I use the CYBORG. Now, the reason for this is the CYBORG just hits a little bit harder than the boosted trimmer, which does a great job as well. But when it comes to fine finishing touches, the CYBORG is your go-to. For me, that's what I do, because there's this thing called, of course, refining the line. You have to put in a base, then you refine the line by going through with something that's a little bit more sharper, and therefore these tools are both sharp, the boosted and the CYBORG, but the CYBORG just has a little bit of a sharper blade on it, in my opinion, and that is what I'm using for the final touch-up. But as you can see, there is some weight left behind on the left side of the fade. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and use my Gamma Boosted, which is equipped with the ES5 blade on it. So if you saw, the lineup that I used was all of this in the left corner, as you can see, but I didn't really mention anything about using the, of course, ES5 Ever Since blade on the haircut. But it's still a boosted, same thing like the gold one, except for the only difference with the gold lid is it has the thumb rests on it, and the black lid does not have a thumb rest. It's just kind of, you know, plain and straightforward. So for those of you who are looking for a little bit more support, the boosted does come with two different lids other than the black, which is the gold and the red, and they have a thumb rest on them. Just a FYI. Another very important detail is utilizing the corners of the blade and making sure to find a reference point of where you're going to place the design, or in this case, the stars. So there's 5 steps, and I'm going to use the corner part of the lineup where the forehead front part and the vertical bar meets, and placing my first line out of the 5 lines that I need to create to make this star be what it is. So this is the easiest way to do this. If you know about this, you know. If you don't know, and this is your first time seeing this being done, I hope this helps you out in the long run to create easier designs and, of course, stars. That way you can, of course, help your clientele build and showcase your different talents. So place in the lines just as I am doing. So we have in 3 lines so far. I'm now working on my 4th line, and I'm going to set in my 5th line, which will complete the star. And after the star is completed, I'm going to go ahead and take the last and final step, which should be the 6th step, but it's really all about the 5 lines. So you just go in with the corners of the trimmer blade and make sure to remove the inside, and that is how you create your star. There's many different things you can do to add more, you know, style to this. You can angle the lines if you prefer. You can even outline the star, but this is just one way that I know how to do it. There's other ways, but this is the easiest way if you want to have some fun with, you know, art such as these stars. This is the way to do it. I'm not really too fond of doing designs nowadays. I really don't even charge for these things. I really don't promote it, but for those who need to learn how to create things such as stars, I am your guy. I got you covered. And like I say, this is one of the designs that I did before that helped my platform gain a following on my IG as well as my TikTok. And I really gotta admit, this is the last thing that I thought that I would do that would gain a following. The traction that I got from doing this design was crazy. I think I posted it like maybe 3 times, and one of them probably got like 1 million to 2 million views. Then there was a follow-up breakdown which got some, you know, several thousands of views as well, and another one, you know. But long story short is I did these stars and they helped me get you all to, see what's really going on this side. But I'm following the same steps. I'm going to make this star a little bit bigger. I've already done the 2 lines. I'm working on my 3rd line, and I'm going to go ahead and execute my 4th line in there. And like I say, there's different ways to do these stars. You can curve the lines. You can do as you please. There's a way that you can create a star, for example, out of Mario or something like that. But these are basically the emoji stars, what I'm showing you. And definitely doing these steps, if you would like to make these smaller, you can definitely do that. I will do a follow-up video, hopefully very soon, and make sure to do these stars a little bit smaller so I can just show you. It's all about manipulating your blade. It all depends on the size of the blade, and it's all about those corners. As you can see, all I'm doing is using the corners. Make sure to use your tools as if they are a paintbrush, a pencil, or whatever it is that you use to create art. You're just pretty much molding the style of whatever it is, just like the steps you take to do a haircut. You're doing the same thing. So I'm going to make sure that I set in the base. I can execute these stars using the same trimmer, but after I'm done with everything that I need to do, I'm going to use a different trimmer and do some refining, just like I did with the front line up on his haircut. I used a sharper blade after using the one that was a little bit less sharper, or in this case, my boosted trimmer is not zero gapped. It was out of the box cutting just fine, and in this case my ES5 blade is not zero gapped. If it is zero gapped, I have no idea. I believe this is probably a standard setting, a factory setting, because when the blade set came out of the box, if you all watched my video on how I set this blade up, after unboxing, I just kind of gave it an arm test and a visual, just eyeballed it, looked at it, from the looks of it, it was safe to use. It felt good on my arm, and I went ahead and used it on my first few clients, and it's been doing a great job ever since. So this is pretty much how this blade set came boxed or packaged. I didn't have to do any manipulation with resetting or adjusting the blade. I just slapped that thing on. It looks safe, and here we are. And I'm going to just kind of add a little bit of some spice to this so I can give it a little shooting star look. It's really a little bit of overkill, but oh well. My homie in the chair loves this. He enjoys a lot of the designs I do for him, and he claimed he wanted stars before, but I asked him to allow me to do stars again on him instead of just doing a basic freestyle design as usual. I asked him if it was okay to do the stars, just so I can, of course, have you all see what it's like to execute the stars design. And hopefully this is helpful to those who are viewing this all the way through. And I please recommend you to watch all the way through, because after I set in everything, I'm going to, of course, move on to the next step, which is combing out a lot of this hair that I'm cutting. As you can see, I'm combing it out, making sure that every excess hair is, visible and cut away. And after it's cut away, I'm going to apply some gel for the follow-up. I'm going to use level 3 shaving gel and a level 3 straight razor holder to go ahead and add some extra details to this design. And as you can see, this thing looks really good. It's looking very official. I'm just gonna dust away and blow away a lot of that excess hair that needs to be, removed, and do the finishing touch-ups. Like I said, I'm gonna use gel. I'm gonna take my time about it using the level 3 shaving gel. This stuff is money. If you're not using shaving gel, I recommend you start doing that ASAP. If you do a dry shave, whatever, that works too. It's just fine, but I do recommend you start applying gel depending on sensitivity of the skin of your canvas. Things will switch up on how, the blades irritate or cause the skin to react to the blades. Everybody's going to be different, so make sure you're applying the proper products where necessary, such as, hold and spray has its place. Not only does hold and spray have its place, I do recommend you use water as well. Water is a slept on natural resource or product in this case, if I can say that, that you will need to make sure that everything is looking on point. And as you can see, the magic is already happening. Look at those details already coming out just because of the shaving gel and level 3 shaving gel. Level 3 products in general are my go-to. If you are not using level 3, you are doing yourself a disservice. If what you're using is working, cool. If you use anything other than level 3, please leave those in the comment section. Let me know what y'all are using. I would be glad to try it out, see how it works out for me, because level 3 is something that I trust in 100%, and it does the job. The team over at level 3 definitely shows out when they are on stage. If you have attended any shows, seeing them live in person is a show to remember. Trust me, you will learn a lot from these guys. They definitely show out, they are going for it 100%. The showmanship on stage is crazy, out of this world. And not only is their showmanship on point, they give you a boost. Even just using their product gives you a boost. I've said this in multiple videos before. Using level 3, confidence boosts that you gain, the confidence boost that you gain is really surreal, but it really elevates you and takes you to a different, place. Trust me, I'm not the best stylist when it comes to hair and stuff like that. I have said this before, but level 3 somehow manages to help me feel like I am that guy. And that is exactly what this shaving gel will do for your work, as well as their straight razor holder is one of my favorites in my opinion. I know some of you have your preferences of what y'all use, but if you have anything specific in particular that you use, leave it in the comments section. I would love to know what you all use, because you can end up sometimes being stuck in your ways, using the same things, knowing that, or having no clue that there is something better out there that you can use other than what you are so fond of. So, let me know, because I'm going to be repetitive with that. I've said multiple times, I am not the best. I remain true to myself. I stay in my lane, and I definitely mind my business. I'm not the greatest. If people call me the GOAT, it is not a internal or subjective approach or in any way a self-centered deal. I am not that type. That just seems like trying too hard. And this is not to trigger anybody, but I'm not talking about me, but everyone's just not the main character. You just don't give those vibes. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and comb out a little bit more of any excess hair that may be left behind after using the straight razor. I'm going to go ahead and move forward using my hitter. This thing is equipped with a fixed gold titanium classic X Pro trimmer blade, which is equipped with the one cutter. So this thing is sharp. For those of you who want to know what this thing is, it's something that you can compare to the trimmer blade set that comes on the Flex. But yeah, it definitely gets things really sharp and detailed. So I did use the ES5 blade to set this thing in and create it to be what it is, but the final details, it's always important to have a different blade set. I mean, this thing is pretty much completed, but my attention to detail is really through the roof. It's not like amazingly mind-blowing, but I hope some of you do find that my attention to detail is actually worth watching, because you have to see the process, you have to see the whole thing through before you even judge it. Now, this is probably mediocre to some people. It may be on the low end side of details when it comes to what is really out there. Look, I could care less. All I care about is making sure that those who need to receive this technique, this method, get it, so that way that they can add to their arsenal, as in their skill set, to do better than me. Like I said, I'm not the best, I'm not the greatest, but I'm going to make sure that those who are viewing are better than me and can execute these cuts easier. You shouldn't be a dummy, excuse my language, nowadays. If you have so much information floating around, you should not be a trash barber. You should not be a trash stylist. You need to take in all this information. It's an abundance of it floating around for free. All you need to do is have a phone, a device of some sort to watch this content floating around for free. So I'm going to keep these back to back, as far as the services that I provide for people and the way that I execute them. I know that lately I haven't been around as I should be as far as me posting, to be honest. If you are getting any help in any way, I appreciate that a lot. That you're, and that makes me happy is what I'm trying to say. It makes me happy. It makes me feel good inside that people are actually receiving my information. And yeah, but also, just details like me using that water on top just to, use this little twist up comb to kind of get some more texture on those curls to get them looking on point. Stuff like that is details that you should be watching out for in the future. I'm going to have more videos like this, and I'm going to do an actual upload for the review on that Gen Z aftershave sprayer, which is from the Barber Plug. I've been using that thing for maybe 5 months, if I'm not mistaken, and it's working pretty good, but I'm using mainly water in it. And as far as my Gamma Plus misters, the Evo misters, I have the gold, the white, and the black. I literally have different scents and fragrances and different levels of alcohol, I guess, aftershave. But anyway, that's the cut, y'all. That's the way you are supposed to execute stars. If you appreciated that, leave a comment, share this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.